The first patch came in last week to squash some of the bugs that have been infesting the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and as Windows Central nicely put it, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's first post-launch patch is here, but hotfix 1.1.2 sure isn't fixing a whole lot. And if you've been playing the game on PlayStation 5 like me, then yeah, there are some definite bugs that are driving the community absolutely mad despite the success of the game. When I first booted up KCD2, for example, the first 20 minutes or so of the game had me actually worried because there was so much popping going on in the distance, but once I was in the actual open world, the game strangely was perfectly fine in that capacity. The other major bug on PS5 that has been driving people up the wall are the audio glitches, again, specifically on PS5. Like, when I first started playing KCD2, it was so bizarre that I thought maybe it was something wrong on my end, but no, the audio stuttering is reportedly a widespread problem on PlayStation. However, if you thought that the audio issue would be squashed in this new patch, you would unfortunately be wrong, which, by the way, I would wager the sound issue is likely the biggest problem right now with the game, and honestly, it is kind of egregious at times. But anyhow, let's take a look at what this patch actually fixes then. So the list is as follows. First off, we have a quest here that is Fortuna. So Bojana and Pavlena will no longer report the player for crimes during the quest, which honestly, I can say that this actually happened to me. After I had just slept in a bed to recover health at their little hut in the woods, I tried to sleep in the same bed again just a bit later, and Bojana literally called me a scoundrel and ran out of the house looking for the guards. And yet, when I went out of the house and killed a chicken before this, she didn't even react, so I was just a bit confused. Next we have the King's Gambit. This is where the quest interactor for wine will no longer disappear, allowing players to continue pouring wine for the guests. We also have some fixes in relation to combat, which fixed the crossbow aiming zoom on ultra-wide resolutions, and there are some platform-specific fixes, such as for Epic Games Store, that fixed the issue with achievements not being completed after longer than 1 hour of play. Pros included improved the issue with rewards, sometimes requiring game restart to be awarded, and finally, stability. This is the biggest category of fixes thus far for the game, and these include fix to crash when looking at certain locked doors and chests, fix to crash sometimes occurring loading the game after finishing the dice minigame, which that one also did happen to me a few times, fix to crash related to opening the horse inventory, fix to crash related to interacting with a cart, fix to crash when spamming keys on the EULA screen, fix to crash when having conflicting versions of the Bink library, and a few dozen additional stability fixes and improvements, and that's it. On PS5, I can tell you that I could not really tell any differences thus far, but as far as gameplay changes, all the stability fixes are supposed to help with functionality in relation to interacting with objects, inventories, doors, chests, and so on. And there were a few very minor quest bug fixes. I know that I ran into one quest bug early on in the Jaunt, which was not included in the fixes here, which basically forbid me from talking to anyone in that quest line, thus making it impossible for me to go the blacksmith route for the wedding. And so I was forced to work with the miller. Not that that was a bad quest line, but it was a bit annoying at the time, considering that working with the blacksmith had been my first choice. In terms of the audio issue, I know that people have been pretty upset regarding the lack of communication from Warhorse on this. I know as well that it's apparently not an issue that's affecting all PS5 players, but it's definitely one that I'm running into over and over again, even after this hotfix. It's weird too, because it will go away at times and then it'll come back later with a vengeance. I did see one potential fix is if you actually change the language from English to something else, it could maybe fix it. I've not tried that myself, but I've seen a few posts about that possibility. I've also seen people going out and literally purchasing nice headphones to remedy the issue, only to find that the problem is not one that can be fixed on the player end. So I'll just say, don't do that, because I think we're probably better off at this point just waiting for an update from Warhorse. But the list of DLC that Warhorse has revealed will be coming to the game over the year, along with both free updates with new features like horse races and paid updates like with the Brushes with Death DLC. I would imagine as well that there will be a slew of other major updates coming along with hotfixes that continue to fix some of the issues that players have been dealing with. Let's just hope that the audio fix comes sooner rather than later. I also don't think that this issue has been happening on other platforms, since places like Eurogamer are calling this a quote technical success on PC. And I haven't heard anything about the Xbox version at this point, but definitely correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about the audio issues on other platforms. I did also find the complete detailed list of patch notes for this latest hotfix, which included some other stuff like fixing the flickering issues, some of the problems in the intro sequence, some fixes for localization, which I did have a strange glitch at one point where my language suddenly changed from English. And basically every vendor in the entire game was selling me goods in German, for which I just had to reload an old save for. And there were quite a few other minor fixes from this hotfix that primarily dealt with NPC glitches, crashes, and particle effects. So while this is being considered as the first major update for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I know that there are still quite a few bugs, especially in relation to both quests and audio, that people are getting frustrated with. As far as gameplay changes, I think the hotfix is definitely making the game into a smoother experience, but at the same time, I totally get where the community is coming from in hopes that Warhorse will be more communicative and transparent about updates in the future. I'm guessing it will be a little while yet though until the next major update for this game. But you'd think that they would have to be prioritizing the audio stuttering that's wrecking the experience for so many PlayStation fans. But honestly, even with the stuttering audio and bizarre glitches at times, I'm having a blast with KCD2 on PlayStation. Anyhow though, what are your thoughts on the latest patch for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and what platform are you playing on? Are you experiencing any major issues with the game, such as the audio glitching, quest bugs, or something else? Shout out down in the comments below and let me know what you're thinking about KCD2 and the state of the game currently. Again, the interesting thing is that I think most people are really enjoying this game, even with the audio bugs or crashes at times, but we'll see what the future holds for this world. Anyhow, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next level.